Well, we are back. This is the third guest, and I mean, I always, I'm lost for words. Do you know what I mean? It's just always good to have you on. Cool.
Well,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
coming on again.
Well, thank you for having me, especially for my first interview back. I was really glad it was you. I'm very,
What can I say?
feel very comfortable. Thank you.
It's all right. I just thought I'd reach out to see how you're doing and to have you back on because I'm recently returning as well. So this is my fourth interview in 2 days. So that's quite quick.
That is working
How's
fast.
things been for you?
Um, Not gonna lie, recently it has gotten a little bit better. But for a while it was really tough. It was dark. It was kind of isolated myself from a lot of people, just purely so what most people don't know, but you do, is I deal with chronic pain and complex regional pain syndrome. So, and it all stemmed from my fall when I fell down the stairs. It was just a lot of focusing on the wrong issues with like my arm when they should have focused on my neck. So, what made it really dark is I had to go back and kind of reevaluate everything. Like how, when I mean reevaluate, I mean with my medical team. So that was what the hardest part about it was, is I had to get a whole new medical team for everything. So that put me in a really dark position because I felt like nobody was listening to me. Everyone was kind of just taking bits and pieces of what I was telling them and kind of just focusing on that. Nobody was talking to each other. So one, I felt like I was going insane. Two, I felt like I had to be a doctor when I'm nowhere near qualified to be one. And
Yeah,
just, I had to fight with myself 24/7. Like, just stuff like that. It became very dark. I, especially recently, I started getting brain fog. So bear with me if I kind of veer off topic or I kind of like stop a little bit. The brain fog is something that kind of recently peaked its head. I had noticed it a little bit, but it's more apparent now, which is very frustrating.
yeah,
But recently it's gotten better. I don't know if it is because I have that appointment with a surgeon coming up to finally figure out like what can we do now to basically give my life back, because anybody who knows me, and if you're a new viewer, I'm not somebody that likes a quick fix. I'm not somebody that likes basically putting a band-aid over a bullet hole and saying we'll deal with it later. I'm somebody that I want it fixed. I want a long-term solution so I can live a long, happy life, because I'm a very active person. I run, I work out, I do a lot of stuff. Like, I was actually getting ready to look into playing soccer again before this all like started to pop up. So, I'm a very athletic person, but this injury has basically sidelined me from everything, like
yeah.
content creation included.
I mean, that's quite sad because obviously you before you was running like three podcasts. You was doing your own stuff. You had your friends who I've had on as well. Mo's doing her thing, and Alika, I don't even know what she's doing. But you three are like the three amigos, and I think they've been a big support for you.
They have, sorry, I tear up talking about them, because they have been so instrumental in just keeping my head on straight, talking to me, just like what do you need? Like what exactly like do you need? What do you need from us? Like those two, God, they've been angels, God sends for me. Like they, when I would tell them things, like they would get progressively irritated while I was getting progressively irritated, because they're like, okay, why aren't they doing anything? Why aren't they fixing my friend? Like, they don't see you and talk to you every single day like we do, and you're not okay. Like stuff like that. Those two have like, oh, Mo, Alika, if you listen to this, just know that I don't know where I'd be without you two right now, because the amount of times I've talked to them about how dark these, like, the pain makes me feel and just like what the CRPS makes me feel, they have brought me out of some of like the darkest times in these past couple of months.
Yeah. And I do apologize for making you a little bit emotional.
No, no, it's okay. I figured since this is my first interview back, the first couple I figure are gonna be kind of like emotional, talking about, what I've been going through and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But my hope is that with explaining my story, that it kind of gives somebody else hope to not give up and just to keep seeking out the answers until you get an answer or until you find somebody that can give you the answer. That's my hope when talking about what I've been going through since mid October of last year.
that's lots of words. Do you know what I mean? But like we said before we went on, I hope it gets sorted and you find your answers that you are looking for. You are, in my opinion, an inspiration to many, and like you said, your story will be heard. And there's another person that I won't say I know, but I've had on who's got CRPS, like you said you've got, and her story is incredible as well. I might drop her a message about you, to be honest, and connect.
Yeah, feel free to. I'm definitely want to start getting to know like more people and how they cope with it, because that now that we're on the topic of CRPS, that has been the hardest thing for me to cope with is like when you don't have flare-ups. Yeah, everything still kind of feels like sandpaper a little bit, but when you have those flare-ups, it's like everything in your body feels like it's about to explode, or it's like really really hot and it feels like really really swollen even though that it's not, and it's just like it's super unbearable. So when I was told that, it broke me because I'm like, I'm 27 and I have an incurable syndrome that no one like that people don't really think is even real, because pain is such a relative broad term now, that it's just like that's what scared me. Is I was like, okay, if the only thing that really does help is like really heavy painkillers. And I'm gonna kind of divulge something because I do feel comfortable in here. My family has had, like on my mother's side, people that have gotten addicted to it. So that was a fear of mine for a very long time, which is why I was so against it. Because I was like, I'm not that person. I don't want that. But it got to a point where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't breathe. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't function. Like, so the CRPS made it really hard for me just to get up, live life. I wasn't I wasn't myself for a long time. I'm going to be honest, I'm still not really myself right now. Um but I feel a little bit more like myself as I started, taking back control and saying, you know what? Yeah, I might have this the rest of my life, but I can still enjoy and I can still have fun. Like, yeah, I was having flare-ups like no other when I went to Yosemite with my sister and her girlfriend. Like I was having flare-ups like no other, but I didn't care because I was with my sister. I was actually enjoying my time. I was enjoying nature, and I went somewhere I've never been before. So just to like see the waterfall with her, it gave me that epiphany, like, okay, so you can have an incurable like disease or syndrome, but you can still enjoy life. Like you don't need to succumb to it. You don't need to let it win. Like, and I think the greatest thing is my sister never said it out loud, but I could see it in her face. I knew she was proud of me for like pushing myself to do something, even though I've been terrified to basically leave the house or do anything.
Mm,
So
okay.
this
But
weekend gave me that epiphany, like you can't keep letting this win. Like, so that's why I threw in the towel with the pain. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking back control. I can't fucking do this. Pardon my French. I can't do this.
All right, swear
So
as
I
much as you
need
need.
something. I'm like, pardon my French, but I can't fucking do this anymore. I need something to kind of to give me relief. So that's when I broke. And I was like, okay, I need something, doc. And coincidentally, the doctor that I saw was the very first doctor that I dealt with from the very beginning when I first fell.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Full circle moment.
Very much a full circle moment. But I will say though that getting back into wrestling, because I did take a break from even watching it while I was, dealing with all of this. Because for a while it just reminded me of things that like I don't have or can't have at the moment. Then I realized that's a very selfish mindset for myself because wrestling is my escape and my home away from home. So when I was watching Wrestlemania back yesterday, I was like, why did I ever stop? Like, why? I love this so much. And then when I was watching Raw on Monday, I was like, yeah, this is amazing. And my roommate even made a comment. They were like, you're watching Raw. I haven't seen you watch that in God months. And I was like, okay, well, this is what I need to do. Like, this is what I need to get myself out of to get myself out of this funk because I don't like being depressed. I don't like being mad. I don't I don't like being irrationally sad for no reason or just snapping. Even though that I do know it's circumstances of the pain, there are things I can do to control that. And wrestling is the one thing that calms me so much that I'm just like, okay, just breathe.
Yeah. You mentioned you watch wrestling. Sorry, I'm just going to backtrack 2 seconds. There was
You're good.
something that you said. There's something that you said, and it's just irritated me. Right, I've got to be
What?
honest. You said it like a couple of minutes ago, but I'm just going to pull you up. It's not soccer.
It's
It's football.
football. I'm sorry.
I
Football.
had to do
I was
that.
looking into playing football again.
I had to do that. Sorry. See, I knew that'd make you smile. I knew that'd make you smile.
Yeah. Yes, I was looking into playing that again. And depending on what he says on the 29th, I may actually still look into it.
So, what team do you support at soccer, or what team do you
I am
like?
always gonna be um definitely Manchester United because that is my
Oh,
dad's team, and then definitely I know I'm making you so upset. I'm sorry. I should have said Liverpool, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't lie. But for my hometown team, I always say the Earthquakes.
oh, Manchester United.
That was my dad's team. I remember all the time
Okay, then.
him and I just watching them. And then I remember my uncle Ethan is a Liverpool fan, so they would always just they'd always bicker back and forth. And
Liverpool's
if
good.
he ever heard this interview, he would probably get really mad at me.
Well, I'm mad at you at the moment.
I'm sorry.
So, another content creator that obviously I've had on a few times, and I don't know if you talk to her or sometimes, but Jazz, how's she been with you? Do you speak to her sometimes?
Oh yeah, Jazz and I keep in contact all the time. I know that she's gotten really busy lately with I think her job, I believe.
Yeah.
But she's doing good. I keep up with her on social media. We send each other little memes all the time on Instagram. I'll send her reels. Yesterday I just sent her one and I think it was like talking about like if your best friend goes to heaven and you're just like, yeah, no, you're not. No, you're staying here with me. And that's what I sent her.
Mm.
So we send little things back and forth to each other all the time. We talk. We have been trying to content create together again, but she kind of just does it on the fly right now, which is fine. I have nothing but time, so if she does want to ever do it on the fly, I'm always available if I'm not, shopping.
Yeah. So, just a quick question for you. So, when I had Jazz on, God, she is an amazing person as well, right?
Hmm.
Great content, nothing but respect and everything to her. But my accent And if she watches this, she'll know what I mean. Can you understand my accent?
100%. I understand every single word you're saying.
She can't.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm going to send you the video after because she even cropped it out and posted it on Twitter.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait.
She will
Yes, I can
definitely
understand
know
you.
what I mean.
I think it's because my best friend Jack, his parents or his mom is actually from England. So she has an accent too. So I hear her talk all the time, and I can understand you guys perfectly. So I think that's absolutely hilarious that she can't understand you. Because
Honestly,
you speak clearly, so that's why I'm like, wait, what?
it's like America, isn't it? Like different places where you go, you got accents.
Yeah, I never understood that until I worked at we have this like big outlet mall where people will come to travel from like San Francisco and stuff like that. And I remember working there when I was in high school, and some lady was like, you have an accent. And I'm like, what? Um, really? And she's like, I was like, really? Because you have an accent. And she's like, oh no, I don't have one. You have one. And I'm like, wait, okay. And that's when my boss is like, yeah, when people from other countries come here, they think we have accents, but really
Yeah,
to us they do. So it's always going to be I was like, wow, so no matter where you go, everybody sort of has an accent. Like that's kind of cool. I like that.
it is good. But say, for example, I've got you on who's in California or wherever you are. All right, but then say, for
Mhm.
example, if you go to Nashville or Mississippi or Tennessee, you sound like a hillbilly. God rest their souls if anyone watches this and you're from that near their place. But do you know what I mean? I'm from Mississippi. Do you know what I mean? It's that.
Yeah, the Western accent, which I think is even more fascinating. Like throughout, like the U.S., there's different accents. Because I remember when I worked at, I did a lot of retail, so I got to meet a lot of like different, interesting people. When I did retail for a Western store, there was this girl. She was from the Midwest, and she goes, "You look like you don't belong here." And I'm like, "What? What?" What? And she's like, yeah, like you don't. She basically said, she's like, you sound so much like a Valley girl. Like you look and sound out of place. And I'm like,
That's not nice.
okay. And so that prompted me to go to my boss that I was really close with at the time. I was like, hey, I have a question. And she's like, what? I was like, can you tell me if I've got like a Valley girl accent and if I sound out of place working here? And she's like, I don't think you do, but then again, I'm from the valley, so I'm not really a good judge of that. So we asked our boss Josh at the time. I was like, "Hey, I need you to listen to hear. I need you to hear me speak." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Do I have a Valley Girl accent?" And he's like, "No, no, no." He's like, if anything, you have more of like a Bay Area accent." He's like, "It's hard and like kind of aggressive. I'm not gonna lie." I'm like, all right, I'll take that. I don't want to be a Valley girl because I used to make fun of them all the time.
Fair enough.
Don't do.
It's like us
I was
in
a
the
mean
UK.
teenager.
We take the piss out of people's accents in the world. It's just a thing that we do. What's your favorite accent?
Um, for me, it used to be British, but now I have to say it's the Irish accent. It's the
Oh,
Irish one for me. British is a close second, but Irish is definitely the first for me. I'm like, yeah,
2 seconds.
I
Two
like that.
seconds. Just give me 2 seconds. You've got to right. I've removed you for that comment. You're not the British. I'll add you back.
Oh my god! I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry.
Should have been first.
All right, fine. British first, Irish second, and then the third. I really like the Jamaican accent. Like, I really do. I think it's cool.
Oh, okay. But I did not expect that. Did
I'm
not expect
just
that.
a bag full of surprises, okay?
I've gathered. I really have. You like to offend the British, and you like Jamaicans.
I keep it interesting, okay?
So yeah, but listen, that's like saying you don't like fish and chips, but you like reggae sauce.
Yeah, no, I don't like fish and chips.
You're not doing well here, are you?
I'm not doing well today. I'm sorry.
So you've offended the British, and you've offended our signature dish.
I mean, I think this stems from just because I'm part Irish. So there's a little rivalry there. So I don't mean to offend. At least the Mexican part of me doesn't mean to offend. The Irish part of me is kind of like a little offense. Take a
Mexican,
little offense to that.
Mexican.
Yeah, I'm Mexican American, Irish American, and according to my mother, a little bit Native American, but that's still up for debate. I need another 23andMe to confirm that. But that one's up for debate, but definitely Mexican American and Irish American.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you are full of surprises. Didn't I expect that?
Like I said, a
So
lot of
you've
people
offended.
don't. A lot of people don't expect the Mexican American part. Everyone like understands the Irish because of my last name, but
Yeah, I know
nobody
what that is.
understands the Mexican American.
Your last name's
But
very
once you
long.
look at my mom, once you see my biological mom, you're like, oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that.
Yeah, your last name is very long.
Yeah, it is. And I had a grudge out against my father when I was a kid because
Oh,
in elementary school, before they stopped, they would have us write our names first and last in cursive.
oh dear.
I remember sitting in that classroom crying, because I had to write out O'Shaughnessy in cursive at like 5 years old. I was crying. And I remember clear as day, my teacher's like, Courtney, why are you crying? Like, you don't have to write this long name. Your last name is Smith, okay? And she's like,
Smith.
oh, okay. She's like, I understand. I'm sorry, but you need to do this. I'm like, I don't have to. You're making me. Yeah, I was a very defiant child.
Yeah. So you've offended the British. You've got every nation in you. You don't like fish and chips. You love the Jamaicans, and you've got a Tiffany Stratton style going on at the moment.
I don't like the way that we're not saying, okay. I'll give you this one because I do kind of look like Tiffany Stratton right now. But
You like that
I
one?
just, for me, when it comes to her, there are like, even though I get it was to kind of promote the feud and get people to watch, like there are I'm always a firm believer of don't bring personal shit into your feud. Once that's happened, I wasn't as big a fan as Tiffany Stratton, but she still has time in her book to make it better. Okay? I'm not counting her out all the way just yet. Okay? Because believe it or not, I actually was not a fan of Charlotte for a long time.
Yeah, I know. And you've been very
Now I'm one
fortunate
of her
to,
biggest fans. I love her.
yeah, you've been very fortunate to take a picture in the crowd.
I was, which is why I was very upset that I couldn't go to my meet and greet because I was supposed to meet the Street Profits.
Oh,
Yeah, I was very upset, but I ended up giving my ticket to a very deserving party, and from my understanding, it was amazing. It was a great meet and greet. But nothing is stopping me next year. Knock on wood. Like, I swear to God, nothing is stopping me next year.
Is it? It's in New
Plus, it's in
Orleans
New
next year, isn't
Orleans. Yeah. Plus, it's in New Orleans. I've
it?
always wanted to visit, and if I make the case strong enough, I might drag my sister.
Okay. I
So
might I might decide to come as well, do you know, over across the pond. I don't know who I might come with, like, but you know, might fly out. It's always been a
you
dream
should.
to go
It'd
to
be fun.
WrestleMania. Always been a
I want
dream.
to experience it at least once in my life. At least once. I may not get into the arena itself, but that's fine. I just want to experience the weekend as a whole just once in my life. Plus, I hear the indie circuit around WrestleMania time during that weekend is amazing.
Yeah. It's because you get a lot of people come from the UK as well.
I know. I want to like this. I'm very excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's something that I'd definitely be doing. You know, looking for WrestleMania maybe. So, what do you have planned for the rest of 2025?
Um, really, my plan for 2025 is just to heal my body completely, um, and at the same time, my mind, because it has taken like such a dark turn. I had to face certain things this past weekend that I never in a million years thought I would have to do, but I did. Very proud of myself for that. Um, Props to Courtney. But now that I kind of have to now just focus on myself. And right now, I'm just focusing on healing my body and my mind and soul because those are the three things that got very, very messed up. Um, just basically through my entire life. I was somebody, you know me, I was somebody that when I get a job, that becomes my identity. Like that becomes who I am. I am that
Mm.
job. But after talking to my therapist so in depthly, more so now, she helped me understand that that can't be who I am anymore because it sends me into such a dark spiral for months at a time, and that's not healthy. So I decided to take her advice and just focus on healing my body for the rest of the year. Like I've come to terms with I will never be able to be a teacher like that again. I will never be able to work in a daycare center again. I will never be able to do any stuff like that. And as sad as that was for me, it was a very freeing decision, I'm not going to lie, because it allowed me to not censor myself half as much as I used to. But I'm just excited to heal my body, especially because ever since that spinal fusion surgery, I knew this probably wasn't going to be over. Like I knew there was something else that was probably going to flare or something. So I just can't wait to heal my body. My mind and soul are getting there, but the biggest one is I just can't wait to heal my body because it's broken, it's broken down, it's out of commission right now. So
Yeah, that's the main thing, is And we all want to, obviously, especially me as well. I want to see you better and have a good year and get sorted and everything because that's what you deserve and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I used to be somebody that was so cynical about this. I was like, I don't know what I did to deserve this. I don't know who in a past life I pissed off because I do believe in stuff, all that. I do believe in, stuff like that. So I was like, I don't know who I pissed off in like a past life to, do this. I don't know, what I did to deserve something like this ongoing for so long. And that's when it occurred to me, it's like, you didn't do anything and this wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault that nobody called you for physical therapy. It wasn't your fault that no doctor stopped you from going to work because you thought you were fine. Like none of this is your fault. So stop. I basically had to kind of like, it was really weird. I had to take myself out of myself for a second and like talk to myself. Like, hey, you gotta like get it together. Like, no. The only reason you're doing half as bad right now is because you keep telling yourself you're doing half as bad. If you tell yourself, okay, I've done everything, and now just put it in the hands of the doctors and just let go of what you can't control,
Mm.
you'll be 10 times happier and you'll feel probably 5 times a little bit better. So once I did that, yeah, like, and when I mean 5 times better, I don't mean physically, I mean like mentally. Like you don't have this like heavy mental block on you. You don't feel like something's sitting on your chest anymore. Like you don't have like, because I'm not gonna lie, my parents used to call me Eeyore when I was a kid because I would throw pity parties all the time. So when I would do that, and I love telling this story now because it makes me laugh. I was like, okay, you need to stop being Eeyore. Stop throwing yourself a pity party. Like, you are like, this could be inspiring to people, but do you think sitting on your bed and crying is inspiring to people? No, it's not. So sit there, cry for today. And this is what my new motto in life is. Feel the emotions, feel them, but don't live there. Like, feel the emotions and get past it. Don't live in that emotion. Don't live in that little rut. Like, it's not fun. It's not great. And, you're just going to make it harder on yourself. So do what you can to make it easier. And that's why my motto for this whole year, just focus on you and heal your body. Everything else will come in time.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. I have loved chatting with you for the past half an hour. My phone, unfortunately, is about to die, but I will
I had fun
talk to you
too.
after this.
All right.
Definitely have you back for a number 4.
Definitely. And thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk about my story a little bit. And just thank you for being my very first interview back into IWC again.
Yeah. Courtney, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
It's always a
Take care.
pleasure to be here. Bye.
Bye.